Hi guys, thank you. Welcome back everyone to Atlantis. The Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. Quarterfinal game, we are at the Imperial Arena in what is truly paradise. Paradise Island in Nassau, the Bahamas. The Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. Just saw an overtime game. Tennessee beat Purdue 78-75. Kind of a crazy ending to that one. We had what appeared to be a traveling violation, but because the officials, and it was just explained to us, didn't make a call, they subsequently looked at the video replay and said, we're not going to now make a call. No hand went up to call the travel violation, so Purdue doesn't get the ball. You were here watching it all. You didn't necessarily see it, but it's good to be with Dick Vitale as we get set to watch Villanova and Western Kentucky. And what a start to this battle for Atlantis.
Yeah, it was a terrific first game, no question about it. Tennessee vastly improved, very athletic. Purdue a quality team. Super win for Rick Barnes. But we're going to have an interesting matchup right here. We got Villanova with a world of experience, Carl, and they can flat out shoot the three ball. They're going to have to defend Western Kentucky to pull an upset to contain the three ball. They got a variety of guys who can shoot it, whether it be Bridges, Booth, and Jalen Brunson, one of the premier point guards in America. Maybe the best point guard in America. Our starting lineups today are brought to you by Atlantis as you take a look at Jay Wright. He has been with Villanova since 2001. For Western Kentucky, they go truly 8 men deep. Like, that's it. They have 7 scholarship players and 8 men available. Villanova will go a little bit deeper, and part of what Jay Wright's going to have to do this season is figure out who's going to be that 9th guy that gets a few minutes. They could play 11. Their second team is as good as many first. Well, that's a nice problem to have. Yeah. Jay's done an amazing job. I really firmly believe, Corral, he's starting to put together a resume worthy of looking at in terms of Hall of Fame status. No doubt. Champions a couple of years ago. 2013, they have some really good memories here. They were an unranked team. They came to the battle for the Atlantis. They beat USC. They beat number 2 Kansas. They beat Iowa, and they won the title. Basically, since then, they've been ranked in the top 25 every week. And they had a great time here while they're here on the beach. How could you not have a great time at the Atlantis? Except right now, I know one thing. Coach of Purdue's not having a great time. No, he's not. Matt Painter's a little frustrated. We're going to get a walk. Right, Coley thought perhaps he was pushed that led to the walk, but instead a travel violation, and Villanova gets the ball for the first time with Brunson, number 1, bringing it up. Well, we're going to see, it's interesting right now. They're starting out in a man-to-man. I think we're going to see a lot of zone out of Western Kentucky because they are so short-handed. Amari Spellman is a guy we'll talk about more. He's now going to be an impact player for Villanova. Their first shot misses. That's Spellman working on the offensive glass, and they do come up with a ball. You know, Carl, he gives them that post presence inside that they really are hoping for. Fade away, baseline, roll. That's an offensive goaltend. Yeah, can't play with the ball up there. You can do that internationally, but you're not doing it on the collegiate level. Eric Pascal went up to get it, and you'll see it's inside the cylinder. Yeah, you can't play with the ball up there. That's a no-no. Great seeing you, man. I know you got away from baseball. Now you're out with the hoops. You're the real game right now, man. Locked right into it. Wow. Bigger ball. Gary Maxwell, Antonio Petty, and Jeff Hartness are your officials today, Dickie V. There's a very aggressive defense. Villanova does a tremendous job changing defenses. Play hard, play with a lot of pride and passion. Bearden blow by, good dish, but it can't be held underneath, and another turnover. And that'll go to Villanova. And that's one of the strengths of Bearden. Coach was telling me yesterday, Mr. Stansbury, he said he's a terrific penetrator, gets in the lane, and can really dish the basketball. As I look at Coach Stansbury, did a great job when he was at Mississippi State. Another one in and out. First game, I don't know if you saw it, a lot of balls went in and out. Not sure if the rims are a little tighter, but we saw so many balls go in and out. Vincent Edwards from Purdue had about 4 of them. Quick shot, there you go. On the board first, Western Kentucky. As it's Bearden who buries it. The Hilltop is a lot of basketball tradition. Yeah. Started with the late, great Ed Diddle. Wiener Diddle, got that towel down there. Hilltoppers. And they've been known to pull, like Northern Iowa, we'll see later, pull a few upsets come tournament time. Good defense. I thought he bumped him. I thought he bumped him right there. Three-pointer wide open. No, off the back iron. And here comes Nova to push. That's Booth with the ball. He had contact, and that is going to be the first foul on Tavian Hollingsworth, the freshman out of Lexington. You know, Phil Booth's an interesting kid. He didn't play last year, had the knee surgery. The people in the game that they won that championship, you know, you talk about Jenkins and a dramatic shot, watching Giacomo with the terrific managing of the clock.
Booth had a big game.
But Booth had 20 points.
20 points.
He had 20 points in that game.
And missed all of last year, basically, and now he is back in here, part of that depth. Dante DiVincenzo into the game as well. He's sort of a sixth man, but really only in terms of sixth man. He could be a starter easily on this team. Spellman hard. No good. Rebound. No good. Rebound third time, no. And he can't get it to go. So battling Omari Spellman, but nothing to show for it.
You know, Spellman really tenacious right there. And a lack of interior play in terms of size and strength is a dilemma for Western Kentucky.
No question about it. Pull up way short. Spellman with a rebound. They'll push it with Booth. He's got Bridges with him. That ball deflected, but it's Mikal Bridges who knocks it in, and he's going to be a big player for Villanova this year.
Hey, plays the pointer there, 1-3-1. Half-court trap. He's very athletic. Nice play right there. Good job attacking the pressure.
Hollingsworth lays it in. Stansbury, who's a good recruiter, you mentioned Mississippi State. He said, I went out and got Hollingsworth. I got him early because if I didn't get him early, Calipari in Kentucky would come get him late.
Well, he had such a great year his senior year. Terrific. He missed the basketball in Kentucky. He's from out of Lexington.
Brunson got him up in the air. The foul and the bucket. That's a veteran play by number 1, Jalen Brunson.
You know, you made an interesting point earlier when you talked about him being the best point guard in America. And I say, amen, you can make that case for him. He's that good. He really is terrific. Has great understanding of the game. Here he is right now. Very cerebral. A good fake, pump fake. Jay told me yesterday, he said, Dick, I'm telling you, he's not going to be a first-round draft choice, but he's going to play 9-10 years in the next level like his dad did. His dad now coaching in the NBA as an assistant coach in Minnesota.
He made an interesting point, which is a bigger conversation, but he said, Brunson, the NBA is my all-time goal, but right now I'm not going anywhere. The NBA's not going anywhere, and I need to get better. A lot of players don't think that way.
Well, they don't think that way, but in fairness in evaluating some of the players who make decisions, they're not in a scenario like he is financially because of his father's situation.
True. Nice interior pass and an easy bucket there for Dwight Colby.
Colby played at Kansas, played limited time, battled some injuries. He's back home here. This is his place.
Yes.
Had to give away a lot of tickets, I guess, here in Nassau. Colby, a grad player from out of the Jayhawk country.
Pascal launches a three. That's way short. And Western Kentucky up a point, pushing here against Villanova.
You know, they got a few transfers. You got Thompson from Virginia as well, Western Kentucky. But they got that winner's mentality. You think Colby and Thompson have been around winners with Tony Bennett and Bill Self.
DiVincenzo, we're going to get an offensive foul. We are. Good job drawing it. And even though they're undermanned, right now they're playing with them. 6-5, Western Kentucky over Nova.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers, classic American muscle, mow with an attitude, and Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas at heart.
You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. Hey, Dickie talked about it. You got Dwight Colby, who is from the Nassau, Bahamas, and Monday, Stansbury, the entire team went over to the Colby home for what was truly a Bahamian barbecue. Had some conch fritters going, a little conch salad. And it was a true treat for all those that were there. About 60 or so folks got a chance to enjoy some Bahamian food, a little barbecue there. They spent a couple of hours just talking about what it's like for Dwight Colby to be a senior now for Western Kentucky and how he's fitting in with his program. And a little later tonight, we'll see DeAndre Ayton, who, of course, plays for Arizona. He, too, is from the Nassau, Bahamas.
Well, a lot of people feel, there's no question, a lot of people feel Ayton probably could be 1, 2, or 3 in the NBA draft. He's that good, and he's back home here.
Nova off to a cold shooting start, 2 of 11. Have you seen Ayton in person yet?
I saw him last night. I was with him at the party.
I haven't seen him on a court in person.
Not in person, no.
Dick, he looks like, he looks like a gymnast too, 7'3", that plays basketball. He's that flexible. He's that good. How about the three-pointer from Hollingsworth? And all of a sudden, Western Kentucky Putting a little surprise on Villanova here early, 9-5.
Hollingsworth was a big-time scorer on a high school level. He really scored over 2,498 career points. He's Mr. Basketball in Kentucky. They think he's going to be a very good player there, Carl.
Colin Gillespie, number 2 into the game for Villanova. He's joined by Brunson DiVincenzo.
Villanova brought a lot of fans out here, too. Carried the basketball. They're trying to call that a little bit more. Villanova very quiet. Right now, struggling shooting the ball, as you said earlier, Carl.
3 turnovers for Western Kentucky. As you see, Jay Wright. You deal with the coaches all the time. Jay Wright's about as comfortable in his position as maybe any coach in America.
He's so well liked by his peers. To his peers, I haven't heard ever a bad word about the guy. He's that well liked. I know Dick Hoops Weiss is in the crowd here, outstanding writer, and he's been around Philadelphia for years, and he just says he is absolutely one of the best.
Pascal wide open. That misses, so they continue their cold shooting. Talked during our first game that was won by Tennessee over Purdue. You're in an odd ballroom, obviously, a lower ceiling. The lighting's a little different. May take time to get accustomed to it. Ceiling's 26 feet above the floor here.
Well, it's always a great way to make excuses, but you know what? Shooters have no problems, baby. Guys that can shoot the rock, they have no problem.
Like Hollingsworth, I think he took a step and he could call for a travel. This was the end of the game, so Tennessee catches the ball, and you see the clock winding down.
He walked
with it.
Absolutely.
Now the official here closest to us was about to raise his hand and say, oh, we got to travel. He then goes and looks at the monitor and says, no, I didn't call the travel. There should have been about 7/10 of a second, and Purdue should have had a shot.
Absolutely. Bad decision.
They waved it off, and that was the end of our first game. Brunson gets that to go, and he's off to a good start here with a couple of buckets.
Jalen Brunson with a little jump shot. I know one thing, we got a little audience, his father's watching, I'll guarantee you that. Rick was what a player he was down at Temple. Terrific. These kids are not backing down. Western Kentucky. I think a lot of people expected a rout. These kids can score. They're playing with a lot of pride and passion.
Lamont Bearden, he bumped into Brunson, took the contact, made the bucket. Then he's 2 of 2 from the floor.
I can see his penetration ability that Coach Stansbury was talking about. Little half-court trap.
Long pass to Pascal. That's where that height advantage comes in. Brunson ball fake, and he's done a good job with that. But we're going to get a 3-second violation on Amari Spellman.
You know, Jay Wright cannot be pleased with the performance thus far with his team. This team is 5th in the nation, and they are not playing anywhere near that capability right now. But it's early in the game, and they'll get rolling.
Early in the game, early in the season.
Yep.
3 of 14, but your point's well taken. They've missed 11 shots.
This kid can penetrate. He really can dish the rock. He's a transfer also.
Yep.
Played at Buffalo. Played with Bob Hurley.
No good. DiVincenzo battles, and it's Villanova. 2-on-2. He'll pull up, and Booth way off the backboard, and not a good shot for Booth.
Oh, that was not even close, man. That was Brick City, USA. A lot of patience right here.
Stansbury tells him to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, you want to shorten the game a little bit because they don't have the talent to run them down the court with Villanova.
They don't have the players. I mean, they have 8 players available. See what Brunson does, one-on-one here. No foul, but he makes the bucket. He's got 3 early baskets.
Tell you what, terrific move right there by Brunson. Great penetration, beat the defender, and then he sealed him off, utilizing his body well.
Jalen Brunson, 7 of the 9 for Villanova. Maybe got away with a push-off and a free throw line extended jumper for Darius Thompson.
Played at Virginia, versatile player. Played under an outstanding coach. In fact, he's been in several NCAA tournaments because he played at Tennessee to start his career.
Yeah, they have some experience with tournament play from the transfers.
And they got a winner's mentality of Virginia and certainly Kansas.
Yep. Spellman, ooh, tough shot. Omari Spellman, who didn't play last year, called it an academic redshirt. Academically, he's like ahead of the curve, but an academic redshirt last year. and he could have a huge impact this year.
Well, he was out last year, didn't practice. A lot of people thought he practiced with the team. He was eligible to practice with the team, but he had knee surgery. A lot of people didn't know that. He had knee surgery. He's going to be a very good player on the interior for the Wildcats.
Good back cut. No, can't get it to go, and no foul call either. He avoided the contact. See if they start to move that ball down low. That's an offensive foul. They get that on Eric Pascal. Good start for the Hilltoppers. They get themselves a 2-point lead. We've talked about his dad. We'll get to know Jalen Brunson when we come back.
Jalen Brunson, let's go on a fast break. Celebrity crush.
Beyonce.
What's your favorite emoji?
Monkey covering eyes.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Breaking Free by Troy and Gabriella.
Buzzer beater or half-court shot?
Buzzer beater.
Shocking.
Was that Uncle Seth asking the questions of Jalen Brunson? Seth penetrating the Villanova fortress earlier this week, or this month, I should say. And Jalen Brunson, one of those guys that he got a chance to ask some questions, so we got to meet a little bit and learn a little bit more about Jalen Brunson, who's got 7 points. The rest of the team is 2 of 13 from the floor. You mentioned Bearden, Colby, and Thompson, 7 NCAA tournaments. And that, if Jay Wright was concerned about anything, it was the experience. Even though they got 8 guys dressed and 7 scholarship players, your point's well taken, they have a lot of experience.
And it's winning experience,
yeah.
too. Being around winners. I like players that have been around winners. There's something about that mentality.
Jake Omer, 21 on the floor for Western Kentucky. Good shooter. He lines up in the corner waiting for an opportunity perhaps for a 3. Good dump down there and an easy layup. That was a good play out of the break. Set it up for Colby.
Then Colby gets a score on the interior, but really a poor job defensively by Villanova. And I really didn't play good post defense on that entry at all. Now this is going to be tough for them. They're going to zone here. And I think Villanova a very difficult team to zone. Because their shooting ability, passing ability.
Colin Gillespie had it in the corner. DiVincenzo launches a 3. That's in and out. And good hustle there for Villanova. They come away with it. That's Kel Bridges.
I think Bridges is going to have a great year, Carl. I think he's going to be one of the premier players in the Big East. What a conference that has been. Creighton certainly has improved big time.
Really good. Good player, too.
Had that big win over UCLA.
3-pointer, good.
Tough to zone them. It'll be tough to zone them. They're going to get a little rhythm. You're not going to keep that team down that long shooting the basketball. Trying to speed up a little tempo here. Going a little trap.
That was Bridges who knocked that down, and you saw he's on a variety of watch lists in college basketball.
He's a star now. He was a role player who's become a star.
Hollingsworth gets it down low to Colby. He works hard and he uses that big body to move Omari Spellman out of the way. DiVincenzo on the run out. Nice move, and he misses the lefty layup.
Gotta lay it on the glass. Gotta lay it on the glass by Zahn, Mr. DiVincenzo.
And Hollingsworth comes back and buries one of his own.
He's got that scorer's ability. Hollingsworth, you don't score 2,400 points on a high school level. I don't care who you play against. You can play against Ravage, Vital, it doesn't matter. If you score 2,400 points, you're a scorer. Can you play?
I can shoot.
You can shoot?
Shoot.
So can I. I couldn't guard anybody.
When we were in Germany, we had a big horse game. Jay Williams, Seth Greenberg, and a couple of producers. Greenberg lost right away. And Peter Pouty went down the other end of the court, and he just shot layups by himself.
You
can shoot the rock.
I can shoot the rock.
I know you can.
I'm the best one-eyed shooter in the history of the game. There aren't too many one-eyed shooters.
No. Bridges, nope, that's short. Western Kentucky, who showed they're not afraid so far to drive, draw the contact, make the buckets.
Yeah, they're not backing that at all. I'm sure they've read all about Villanova, top 5 in America. One of the last 5 years he has had. You look at the 5-year record of Jay Wright. I think
nobody's won more games.
Yeah, nobody's won more games in the last 5 years in the country.
Another take, no good. And DiVincenzo, no, he stepped out of bounds. No, he did not. Looked like one official had it going one way, and the other said we're going to go down this end of the floor.
You know, he talked about a compliment. Jay Wright told me, I was talking to him on the phone about 3-4 days ago. I should look at his numbers right here, just amazing. He told me DiVincenzo See, you know what he reminds me of, Dickie B? He reminds me of Rex Chapman. Now that is a heck of a compliment because the king, Mr. Chapman, was one special talent.
Tremendous athlete. DiVincenzo can jump out of a building. Chapman could do the same thing as well. All right, we're under the 8. Western Kentucky. Every time we go to break, they still have a lead.
Well, you know, Tavian Hollingsworth, big-time scorer. We talked about it, prolific in high school, showing that ability here. Nice drive to the goal. Maybe he's now showing his range as a shooter. Maybe he's right there, a little floater in the lane. Scored over 2,400 points, Carl. And the thing is, he averaged over 20 a game in their exhibition games, and he's the first kid ever in 100 years, basically, to be named captain.
Yeah,
one of the captains as a freshman.
Yeah.
6'2", respect.
165-pounder out of Lexington, Kentucky. He's 3 of 3 from the floor. Western Kentucky's 8 of 16. Has got a little trap play here for Villanova that they're able to execute and get out of.
When with John Calipari, I don't understand. How do you let that kid out of Lexington? Are you kidding me? He's going all over the country, going to get all those McDonald's supers. Right there, he's got a kid that can play. And he can make shots.
How's it slip through the cracks?
Yeah, come on, Johnny C.
He's slipping, isn't he?
Yeah.
You've seen his group. He's really slipping. There's a 3 and a big shot again. That's Darius Thompson.
He's a versatile player. Played for Tony Bennett, Mr. Versatility. Tony's a lot alike. When you think of Jay Wright, Tony Bennett, very similar.
You see that?
Well-liked, well-respected, knowledgeable,
polished.
Teachers polished, good-looking. Everything I'm not.
Wears a suit well.
Everything I'm not.
How about Western Kentucky? Biggest lead of the night. 5 different guys have scored. It's 20-14. And there you go, bottom of the basket there. And maybe this is the Mikal Bridges show tonight.
Well, Bridges has been good all year for them. He's really very aggressive up there at 6'7", at the point of the 1-3-1 they like to play.
Killer bees, Brunson and Bridges. Are we going to go there?
Yeah, I like that.
Good interior pass, and Colby's big body had that one whacked away by Omari Spellman.
Spellman gives him a force on the inside.
Bridges again, he's feeling it. Too hard.
Shot the ball too quickly.
Excellent. How about that box? You talk about a box out. How about Jake Ulmer there on Dante DiVincenzo? That was about as textbook a box out, Dick, as you could have.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad you said that because I was ready to get into it. But let me tell you this. We don't see that often in college basketball, where if guys want to turn immediately go to the rim rather than go make contact on that player. Make contact on him. Get between him and the basket.
DiVincenzo to the bench. He's got a couple of early fouls here. 6 minutes to go. In our first half, the battle for Atlantis. First game, Tennessee knocked off number 18, Purdue, in overtime. Bounce pass, pretty good one, and Pascal with a foul. You've been there before, Dick. We're going to focus on Maui, and how about this one? Landry Shamit's been great. Bonzi Colson, that's your championship game. And you'll see that tonight at 10 on ESPN2.
Yeah, that's a great matchup. Wichita State, I had the opportunity to speak there several weeks ago at a big event. Coach was there as well. And I'm telling you, really, Coach Marshall does an amazing job. And they're playing without the kid McDuffie, but Notre Dame, very good. Mike Bray's club.
It streams live on the ESPN app. And right now, Western Kentucky outplaying Villanova.
Yeah, great execution. You know, Mike Bray doesn't get a lot of credit that he deserves. You know, among his peers he does, but nationally you don't read a whole lot. He's done an amazing job there at Notre Dame. He's going to become eventually, I don't hear it, Dick. I know Digger doesn't want to hear this.
The winningest coach.
Well, he's not listening right now.
It's happening soon, too. Sooner than Digger wants it to.
He's going to be the winningest coach in the history of Notre Dame.
I know.
Wow.
You think about it too, Bray and Wright, championships, they win he's got one already, they win some more. That's 2 potential Hall of Fame type coaches.
I'll tell you one thing though, Digger's had some great teams when he was there at Notre Dame. I mean, really terrific. Those wins over UCLA and Marquette with those winning streaks is special. Good spacing right there, excellent spacing. Trying to go into the post and out to the wing.
Baseline shot, and perhaps Spellman a little too amped up. Alley-oop, and that's good defense there by Bridges to deflect it away.
Well, Bridges, good anticipation. I'll tell you one thing, Villanova, we know, is a strong shooting team. We're not seeing it here, but you know, they've had 3 cupcakes basically to win. Now all of a sudden you play teams a little bit more competitive, and now you got to get into that rhythm, better rhythm.
Well, this is a great field and a really good test for whoever continues along the winner's bracket. Tennessee is one of those teams. They will play the winner of this game. Later tonight, Arizona, NC State play each other, Northern Illinois, Northern Iowa, and SMU.
North Carolina State, Coach Keats has done a great job early in the season, got them pressure in, played a lot of pressure defense. Unfortunately, right now, you come here and you get a team like Arizona with Ayton playing back home is a tough task.
But I would think Tennessee was at least talked about the same way. Oh, you got to deal with Purdue. You're not going to win that game.
Right, exactly.
They're younger. They're athletic. They won a game.
Absolutely. I think the SEC is on such an uptick. Really an uptick. They got a tough break losing Porter at Missouri. Wish that kid the best. He's recovering.
Great defense that time. Bridges. And there's a foul on Jack Omer. What they can't afford is foul trouble. Omer picks up his second because they just don't have the bodies.
Yeah, you were talking earlier about their depth factor. They don't have enough people. They got a couple players right now ineligible. They're waiting for some reports on them, whether they can be eligible or not.
And they had a 7-footer, Mitchell Robinson, who decided not to come to school.
I don't understand it. I really don't. The marketability he can get by playing on a collegiate level. You know, I'm hearing all kinds of reports from different people, and I don't like what I hear. I think the bottom line, too many sleazy guys get involved and fill kids' heads up with a lot of nonsense. And don't get the kids heading in the right direction. I think a lot of players have to understand, too, in life, I don't care how good you are, whether you're Michael Jordan, whether you're LeBron James, there comes a day in your life you have to stand at a press conference and say it's over. And you have to live from 35 to maybe 80 and make yourself live a life. And I don't care how much money you have all the money in the world, if you don't feel good within yourself as a person and can really live a life that's positive, you lose so much, Carl. You lose so much.
Mitchell Robinson is still a likely lottery pick, but Rick Stansbury thought he was going to be playing here. That's a 7-foot guy that is versatile and is a rim protector.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's going to be absolutely a high draft choice, but he could have enjoyed himself. He could have been in a structured situation, working out, getting physical fitness, going to class, learning a little bit about discipline.
Bridges lost it, and Justin Johnson gets called for the offensive goaltend. Finish your point.
You know, personally, I'd really like to see get rid of the one and done. And if a kid like Robinson wants to go right to the NBA out of high school, let him go. College is supposed to be for kids that want to be there. I like the fact that Adam Silver is looking into that scenario, because really, the term student athlete does not apply in many of the cases. There are exceptions, but in many of the one and dones, it doesn't apply.
In a lot of cases, in a situation like Villanova, you don't have those one and dones. Although Wright has said, I'll take one if I can get one. But you have experience. That's what you have, guys that are here 3 and 4 years.
Wow.
And how about Michael Bridges with that big follow?
Wow. Mikael Bridges with a left-handed jam. Hey, John Calipari and Mike Krzyzewski just have to be a little better in recruiting than the other people. There isn't a guy in America wouldn't take a Bagley or wouldn't take a kid like Kevin Knox and the one-and-done players.
Contact, and they're going to get foul on Gillespie. Let's go back to Mikael Bridges, who is off to a flying start.
There he is right now. He is flying right here. He's up and away with the left-hand jam. Even Coach K has said, I'm not a big fan of the one and done. He's made that very clear. But it's there, and you're following the rules. The rule says one and done. I'm not going to turn down great players.
No, and he's getting more and more of them.
Why not? Why not if you're a kid? Why would you want to play for him or Calipari or some of these guys, Roy Williams?
Brunson draws contact, the kick, Gillespie, high arcing three, and it goes. And just like that, Villanova's tied it up.
They think he's going to be a quality player for them, Gillespie. Shoot that three. Look at him pressing now. See, making the three like that gets you a little more aggressive. Nice bit of coaching there by Coach Stansbury. Had the guy post up, go diagonal, look opposite.
Colby's a big body to help break a press like that, isn't he? And he's got good hands.
I think tempo's important in this game. They got to really keep the tempo, a little bit of patience. Western Kentucky.
Foul underneath Cosby Roundtree. He's committed the game. It looks like they're going to call it perhaps on him. We'll continue. Villanova leads now for the first time. 16 seconds.
Oh, boy.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas at Heart, and Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things winter.
All right, boys, looking forward to it. The Nova fans are in the house, and now that the game is tied, even though they've only led for 16 seconds, they're representing. It feels like a Nova home game.
Well, they had 600 people at a big event last night. I was with Jay at the event for all the teams, and they had to leave and go to the Villanova party as well. They love their team, man. He's done it the right way, too. When you look at his career, don't hear anything about infractions. You don't hear anything about players not going to class. I mean, they're great, all positives.
They're contesting at the rim again, and this time they come away with it, and Booth will look to push. Cosby Roundtree goes underneath. They got Brunson open.
He likes that pump fake, man. He does a great job with the ball fake.
Back into a zone, now back into a man for Western Kentucky.
Changing defenses. They don't want Brunson to penetrate, playing off him.
5 seconds on the shot clock for Nova. And it's Booth to the baseline. Soft jumper, no good.
Struggling shooting.
Comes up with it. Yeah, so far they are. Whole team is.
I mean, if you're right now, Coach Stansbury, you'd like to see this end right now to half to go in the locker room and feel pretty good about yourself.
Justin Johnson, 23, down low, is the only really returning guy that has any experience.
Tough to make that pass.
Knocked away by Booth.
Not a good play right there. Had no angles. You got to utilize angles. Something Brunson does a great job using angles when he makes his penetration. Has a great feel, very cerebral, understands how to play, great IQ. You know, I was talking about great point guards. You got Barry, certainly terrific. Tonight, Landry. When you think of Shamet, Wichita State, there's Brunson right on cue. If I had to say my 5 best, I'd go with Barry, North Carolina. I'd go with right here, Brunson. I'd go with Mr. Well, Shamet's got to be on it. Devontae Graham.
Yep.
Nice play inside.
I don't think he'd be considered, but your guy Farrell's playing great for Notre Dame.
He is playing great. Go Super 6, because my other guy would be Mason right now. Mason down at Minnesota. The M&M guys, Mason and Murphy, are doing a great job for Richard Pitino.
Very good job.
I like Farrell, too. That's a great choice. Farrell and Shamet's going to be a heck of a matchup.
Brunson, no. Look at how high Mikal Bridges gets. He can't get it to go. And we are heading towards the 1 minute mark of the first half. And Stansbury wants to talk about it. We'll take a 30-second timeout as he talks to his troops down a point. Welcome back. Look what Dick brought. A magazine. We got Harbaugh, Greeny, Leonard Hamilton. Tell us about the gala.
Well, we got Jay Wright's going to be introducing me at the gala. Last year we raised $3.1 million.
Say that again.
$3.1 million.
A lot of money.
For kids battling cancer. This year I hope to do $3.5. We've raised $21 million, and you can help us if you want to get a chance on a brand new red Mercedes convertible. $100 donation. You can get that chance and opportunity. Just go to dickvitelonline.com, and we're selling only 1,500 chances on a red Mercedes convertible. You look great in one of those, Carl.
If I gave you $1,500 and bought every ticket, can I do that?
You can do that.
I can do that. I can get the car. Seventh turnover for Western Kentucky. Been very competitive. We're going to get Spellman a little break here going into the halftime. He'll sit down.
Sometimes your kids need a game like this. You got Villanova, get a little competitive scenario. They've been blowing people away early in the year. Overpowering teams, great talent.
Tyler Miller comes into the game. He wears 0 for Western Kentucky.
He's a walk-on kid who really plays hard, tenacious, earns a few minutes.
Brunson lost it, and Western Kentucky and Johnson come away with it.
Make sure they get a good shot right here. You want to make sure you have some patience, get some good execution.
Nope, we're not going to do that.
Not getting it there.
Gillespie to the hole, good hustle, and you mentioned it. There's your walk-on. Terrific hustle by Tyler Miller to prevent an easy bucket.
You know what's great about walk-ons? You just see an example of it. They'll do anything to earn some PT playing time. Hustle, scrap, claw, and then you see some incredible talents with all kinds of ability, and they take time off, and it blows your mind. You say, wow. Man, if you can't be unbelievably excited playing big-time college basketball, something's wrong.
Former Philadelphia Player of the Year. In high school, Gillespie goes to the bench. DiVincenzo comes in. He's a good shooter. He's got the ball on the baseline. Bridges, tough shot. No good. Look at DiVincenzo working. That's a goaltender. Yep.
Scored a basket. DiVincenzo, he has got some great legs. What bounce off the floor, man. He's like a Spalding ball, bouncing off the floor. The old pink ball I used to play when I was a kid. Look at that bounce. He's got great hops, man. Great hops. And I love the name, DiVincenzo for little linguini.
Just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? What'd you say, the little pink ball you used to play with?
Play with pink ball, Spalding ball. Hey, let me say this. Rolly Massimino, I think Italians, he lost his life, but he will never, ever, ever be forgotten for all the beautiful things he did in his life. I asked Jay, I said, what is the one thing that you got when you worked under Rolly Massimino? And he said, family. It was all be as a family, as a team, and the team becomes part of the family, and your family becomes part of the team. He said that's what Rolly was all about. You're going to miss that guy. He was so special. Never, ever will be forgotten.
5 seconds now in the half. Bearden's going to have to fire it up, and it's going to be contested. He gets it off. It comes up short. And in the end of this half, Villanova's going to go to break, leading by 3. It felt like Western Kentucky and the Hilltoppers were up the entire first half, but a 13-4 run. And Bridges and Brunson, the Killer Bees, getting it done with 20. Adnan's got the halftime report. Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. There you go, one mode of transportation today. Get on one of those big bikes and cruise around the water.
I met the CEO of the founder yesterday. Great guy, great people.
Facility is spectacular here, and really a delight to be spending the Thanksgiving holidays with you as we bring you the battle for Atlantis. We saw one sort of upset today, Tennessee. They knock off Purdue, and Western Kentucky played themselves a really good half right up until the end, and now they're down by 3, but very much in it.
Well, Villanova went on a little 13-4 spurt, but they did a great job, I thought, controlling tempo in the game, and Villanova really struggled shooting the basketball. Brunson was really a star of stars in the first half for Villanova. Here he is right there, good ball fake, head fake, gets good arc on the shot and scores. Here's the penetration, the drive, seals the defense off well, uses the hand really exceptionally well. That's a great look to Gillespie, penetration, and then he shows, I got range too, man. Uses that high screen, steps back and nails the jumper. Very, he doesn't give you a lot of flash and a lot of pizzazz. He just gives you winning basketball effectiveness and efficient.
His dad, Rick Brunson, didn't give you a lot of flash, but boy, was he a great college basketball player. So Brunson goes for 10, and so does Mikal Bridges. He goes for 10 as well. Those two, 20 of Villanova's 27 points. Bridges had 4 rebounds to go with that as well.
Well, I got to be honest here. Can I be honest with you about something?
Let's all be honest. Let's be authentic and honest.
Well, we just got a visit from Rick Barnes, right?
Yes, we did.
And I said, Rick, you surprised me. I prepared. I got all Purdue ready to play Villanova. Western Kentucky may surprise. We may have Western Kentucky and Tennessee in a semifinal. One never knows. I will never forget a couple of years ago doing games up in Orlando, and a school by the name of Monmouth.
Right.
Monmouth and King Rice and Company came in, and they shocked everyone.
I got a story for you. Long time ago, I worked in Binghamton, New York. And you know who was the great point guard for Binghamton High School?
King Rice.
King Rice.
King Rice was a terrific.
What a star he was in high school.
Yes, sir. Went to North Carolina. Met another North Carolina grad here today. Bob McAdoo's in the house, scouting for Miami.
I saw you tweeted out a picture today of a couple of former NBA stars. And then you said, who were those? Did you get the answers? Did people give you the answers?
Clifford Ray, great defensive player. Played for Oklahoma, John McLeod. McAdoo was something else 1 year at North Carolina.
How about a 5-second violation? Jay Wright put his head down. He was frustrated after Hollingsworth had committed his 3rd foul for Western Kentucky.
And that's big because, as we said earlier, you mentioned it several times, they lack depth. They really are not a deep basketball team, and his scoring is really vital to Western Kentucky.
There he is. Thompson hands it off to Colby, and a tough handoff, but one that was ultimately successful to Lamont Bearden.
Well, great deflection right there because they jumped in.
Bodies down. A little slippery spot over there. We've seen the maintenance crew here come on out to try to dry that floor off, but Pascal, with that slip, picks up his 3rd foul.
Pascal transfer came the way of Fordham. He was Rookie of the Year when he played in the Atlantic 10. I'll tell you, the Big East is going to be really dynamite. Seton Hall is really strong. Seton Hall is outstanding. I mean, they got some quality players. Kevin Willis done a great job. Delgado and company, Carrington, Rodriguez, anything, Xavier with Blewett. Chris Mack's done a tremendous job with that program. You got Creighton. I mean, that's really a strong conference. Providence very good as well. Fires.
Here comes DiVincenzo on the ball that was deflected by Bridges, and then it leads to an easy layup by Booth.
You know, Booth gets the easy layup, but it was the great pass, dropping it like an unbelievable, put it right on a dime there. Tremendous pass by DiVincenzo. I love that name, DiVincenzo.
Lead goes to 5. You just kind of sense that Western Kentucky's going to be careful. It's going to be hard to come from behind. Good offensive rebound by Justin Johnson as he used that big body to get in there.
Well, you know, Johnson's a double-double machine. He's been quiet here because he got to play a little football, put some weight on. Gave up football after a few months. He was a tight end.
Put a lot of weight on him. It actually kind of caused some knee issues because of that added weight.
He's got to get back into real basketball condition.
DiVincenzo launches a 3 that's long. He struggled from the field shooting so far today.
Nice rebound by Johnson right there. He was all conference last year, Conference USA.
Wide open cross-court pass. What are you doing? Look at Omari Spellman, not in my house.
Spellman said, don't come in the lane, man. Thou shalt not enter my lane. That's a commitment. There goes Mr. Spellman. They're going to love him down at Villanova. Yes, sir.
Lamont Bearden. Not afraid.
Bearden's a driver. Played at Buffalo, went to the NCAA tournament. Played for Bob Hurley, now at Arizona State.
Obi Spellman on him. DiVincenzo comes down to give some help, and that leaves a wide open 3. And a basket for Darius Thompson.
Darius Thompson's been around the block. He's at Tennessee. He's been my old Marco Polo team. You know, transfers, man. He's been at Tennessee. Father coaches at Cumberland University. Then he went to Virginia. Went to the NCAA tournament there as well as when he was at Tennessee. That was a nice entry. Great post entry.
Spellman gets it to go off the front of the rim and climb over.
Gives him that good post presence.
I think Rick Stansbury, who is way past that coaching line, may get warned or called here, and that is another point of emphasis this season. You can see where that white line is. He's not supposed to go past that.
Well, they made the coaching box bigger, about 10 feet bigger than it's been in the past, but they're going to enforce the rule and making sure coaches stay in that box. As you see coaches, they wander all over the place down here.
Let's move the mat then down a little bit, because he was standing on that mat that's right there with the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis.
Wow, a little technical.
Rick is like, really? We're going to call that apparently this year.
Yeah, they are. That's definitely, you talk to any of the guys involved, they're going to call that. You know, Stansbury, what a career he had at Mississippi State. He was 22 years at the school, 14 as a head coach. Unbelievable. Only Kentucky, a lot of people don't realize this, only Kentucky and Florida, knew my researcher found out, won more games in the SEC during his tenure at Mississippi State.
Had some really good players. Some went to the pros.
Good recruit.
He always could recruit.
Went to the postseason 11 out of 14 years. Then he worked 2 years down at Texas A&M. And I'm telling you, before people concede the SEC championship to Kentucky and Florida, they better watch for the Aggies. The Aggies are for real. If you don't believe me, just call up West Virginia and ask Bob Huggins.
I was with them in Germany. I saw them play, and they didn't have Robert Williams. And
they didn't have the guard.
They didn't have the point guard either.
Caldwell.
Yeah, and he's back. Last night it wasn't Caldwell. It was the other point guard who got the job done for them. Driving layup by Thompson. He's playing well. Williams and Tyler Davis phenomenal as well last night for A&M.
So one thing, Thompson really is giving them a lift here. He's showing that versatility and experience.
Justin Wilson was the guy last night, I think, that was so dominant for them as a point guard for A&M as they ended up winning in New Jersey and taking home that title. Bridges working on Johnson. Good double team from Colby, and they get steps.
Yes, sir.
Good double team from Colby to come over and help out.
Great hope. He took away the driving angle. Let me tell you, they're going to win their share of games in the Conference USA. The conference has got some good clubs. Kermit Davis. What really intrigues me about the conference, some really outstanding named coaches. Tim Floyd, UTEP. You got certainly, I mentioned Kermit Davis at Middle Tennessee State. They're very good. I spoke there at a big event. The love they have for that program.
When are you ever home? You're out speaking all the time.
Well, I got to make some money, man. I got to feed the family. I love speaking. You know that. I love motivating, inspiring. I'm a lucky guy, man. I've been over 30 years in the Washington Speakers Bureau. They booked me all over.
What are you, 65, 66 now?
Come on, man. I'm like 40. I act like 12. I act like 12. I'll match my energy with any 20-year-old. Bring them on.
You'd win that all. You'd win that all the time.
Villanova's in a battle here.
Sure are.
In a battle.
Just like Purdue was earlier with Tennessee. And Spellman misses. Chance for Western Kentucky to go up. Our first game, you can see it in overtime. Tennessee a winner over Purdue. Hollingsworth a little long, and Villanova will look to run. Bridges. Good dish to Brunson.
That's how you draw it up. That's how you run every day in practice. Fill the lanes, choose the bounce pass, get the 45-degree angle cut. Perfect execution by Villanova in transition.
Under 16, I'll say this, we saw all the teams shoot arounds yesterday in their practices. Villanova's was like the Japanese little leaguers taking infield. Everything was choreographed, everything had a meaning. That bounce pass, one of the things they worked on yesterday. 34-31 at the paddle for Atlantis.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas at Heart, and Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things winter.
It's a Phil Knight birthday bash with 16 teams, 2 tournaments, 1 time only. The PK80 starts Thursday.
Portland and Portland State, they get North Carolina and Duke at 2:30 and 4:30 on Thanksgiving. It's a terrific field. You got 8 teams on one side, 8 on the other. They don't ultimately meet. They have their own sort of tournament. But what a field and what a tribute tonight.
Yeah, it really is. And Phil Knight, what a job he's done during his career. Interesting, his book. My daughter was talking about it, was just reading it recently. It's amazing.
It's a very good book. I read the book. Very good. Yeah, very good. Very interesting.
He's done an incredible job. But what a field that's going to be out there in Portland. They were for a real treat.
You don't realize, you got to read that book to understand how many times and how close they were to failing and giving it all up. That's a foul on the arm, and that'll be a 2-shot foul. So take a look at the PK80 bracket, and you get the motion side, the left side. So Duke, the 1 seed. Texas with Bamba is going to be very interesting to watch. They get some serious size. There's Florida and Gonzaga at midnight Eastern time on ESPN2. On the other side, they call it the victory bracket. That's where you'll find Carolina, Connecticut, and Oregon should be a good game. A lot of people are looking forward, if it happens, to Arkansas trying to get a little revenge against Carolina for last year.
Tell you what, Arkansas's got some strong guards, veteran guards. Mike Anderson's kids play hard. I think the SEC, when you saw Tennessee today, will be one of the most improved conferences in basketball in terms of depth. And it would have even been better if they didn't have the bad luck down there at Missouri with Michael Porter Jr. He is such a talent, Coral, and my heart goes out to the young guy. But he can come back from that. He can come back from it. We wish him really the best for a speedy recovery.
And I misspoke. I said Justin Wilson. It was Dwayne Wilson. The baseball thing got in the way. Of course, Justin Wilson, the reliever. It was Dwayne Wilson who played last night. He played great for A&M. Inside passing continues to be a real strong point for Villanova. Bridges with a dozen.
Well, Bridges got the dozen, but what a great look to the interior to get him the ball. Great angles. I love Villanova the way they utilize angles.
Hollingsworth got himself free. That one did go off the foot. Good hustle over there by both players, but ultimately went off the foot of Justin Johnson. And at that point, you got to give some credit as well to Cosby Roundtree, who deflected it off that foot.
You know, I think everybody's anticipating, most basketball fans, waiting for a big spurt out of Villanova to blow it open. But these kids here are not intimidated. They keep battling, and they don't allow that spurt to happen.
Try to isolate Cosby. Roundtree now he gets it to Bridges, and he gets it to go.
I'll tell you, Bridges just knows how to score in a variety of ways. He can shoot it from the wing. He got the three. He can drive. He can post up.
Tough step through. Good hustle on the floor. And it's Western Kentucky who comes up with it now. They pull it back out. For a second, it looked like Darius Thompson was going to launch a three.
He had a real good look there, too. He's wide open.
Lamonte Bearden, DiVincenzo, everybody getting down on the floor.
Nice pass.
Johnson lays it in.
Nice two-man basketball. Johnson was all conference last year. Conference USA.
Western Kentucky hanging around with 13 to go in the second half.
I really think they're going to be really a contender in that conference. It's hard for me to believe that they're number 6 so far. He's a great player.
That looks so smooth, so silky. Jalen Brunson buries another three, and he's up to 16 in the game, and now slapping the floor.
He's just an outstanding point guard, as good as any in America. He's a true definition of what a point guard's supposed to do. Penetrate, play defense, get the ball to key people.
You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. Well, the boys, all of them, in fact, the 8 teams here, get a chance to spend some time walking around Atlantis. And when you walk around Atlantis, you can see a lot of things that you don't see other places like that.
Let me tell you this, I'm putting on my bathing suit after this. I'm going to the pool. I gotta show that great body I have, man. Are you kidding me?
That 6-pack, or is it a 12-pack? What is it? What are we packing there?
Hey, you go swim with the sharks, man. You go swim with the sharks. Stay with the sharks. My grandkids, we come here several times, the whole family. It's just a great vacation place.
Yeah. It really is. The weather is fantastic. You're starting to get that weather turning in the northeast and whatnot. So if you could ever get out to Atlantis, a fabulous place and really a terrific field. This event took off. I mean, it started in 2011, and it is now one of the premier events in November for college basketball.
Starting to get a little danger time, I smell here for Western Kentucky. Villanova has elevated their game a little defensively. Got to make shots a little better. Coach Stansbury in that conference, I talked about some outstanding coaching. You got Mark Price at Charlotte, Kermit Div, Doc Sadler down there at Southern Miss, Jeff Jones, former Virginia Tim Floyd. I mean, there's some really good name coaches. Michael Curry, Steve Henson, remember he played point guard? Sure. He was at Texas San Antonio.
Hollingsworth, that was blocked at the rim by Cosby Roundtree. They've made 6 of 8 field goals as Villanova in the second half. They're playing a lot better on both ends of the floor.
Okay, Western Kentucky, what tradition over the years. Remember a great player, Jim McDaniel? You probably don't remember Jim, you're so young. He was really terrific.
How old do you think? I'm like 25. How old do you think I am?
You're a young guy, man. You're like younger than me, I can tell you that. But they had some great tradition under Ed Diddle.
Omer with the steal, and now a foul on Brunson. A former Kentucky scoring superstar, Jake Omer. He forced the turnover and gets the foul on Brunson. It's his second. And that gets Colin Gillespie up off the bench for Jay Wright. And Brunson goes to the bench.
They need a basket right here. Get a little back momentum a little bit. They got to score. Get a little quiet.
Colby wants it, and he gets it down low against Cosby Roundtree, and some help defense from Bridges. It looks like it's going to be a tied-up ball.
Goes to Villanova.
Possession arrow goes to Villanova.
Western Kentucky's had some great coaches. Gene Cady coached there. Gene Cady, Clem Haskins, Maury Arnold, Ralph Willard, Dennis Felton, Darren Horn, and Ed Diddle, the Hall of Famer. 42 years, 32 conference titles, 11 postseason tournaments. Man, 18, 20-win seasons. I got those notes down. Like you got to do your research.
Sitting next to Wikipedia right here. Dickie V.
Hey, when he retired in '64,
Dickie, this is a 3-day tournament. Don't empty the bag all in game.
Even he held the NCAA record before Krzyzewski's taken over.
You got a nugget before we go to break?
Yeah, he was a proponent of fast break basketball.
Perfect. Thank you. diddle ball. Wow. Thank you. 77-56. Our game here, the Atlantis Game Track. Villanova shooting 41%. Western Kentucky 42%. The first half stats are brought to you by Atlantis.
Now here's the strength. Villanova for the last 5 years has been outstanding at the charity stripe. And that's a big plus when you can make your free throws, man. That's a big plus. Bridges and Brunson, I like the B&B guys.
Yeah.
They've been beautiful. The B&B guys have been beautiful for Villanova. They're going to love them down at the main line. They play all their games, home games, I understand, this year over with the Sixers play. And what a story, the Sixers. Ben Simmons way better than I thought. Clearly, he'll be rookie of the year.
How about Joel Embiid?
Oh, unbelievable.
What light switch did he turn on?
Well, you know, with him, though, we need to survive and play lots of games. He's got to be more durable.
Tough interior passing that leads to a run-out. DiVincenzo thought about a bounce pass. Instead, they slow it down. Always looking to break and then bounce it.
And then patience. DiVincenzo knows how to play. He has a great feel for the flow of a game. Good spreading the court. Look at the great spacing. He's got him one-on-one. Oh, you got to lay it on the glass.
He had a layup. Look at the depth, though, that you got here with some of the guys they have on the bench. Brunson's on the bench. Spellman's on the bench. Gillespie's in the backcourt now.
He's saving them for the last 6 minutes. Give us some playing time, some players get a little more experience.
3 days, 3 games. You got to kind of settle into a tournament, too. You don't just win it in the first game.
You know, Carl, I've always had a problem with the fact coaches give lots of scholarships to these kids, and they're afraid to use them. Afraid to use them. A kid can't hurt you. Get them on the court 3-4 minutes at a time.
DiVincenzo kicks it. Extra pass to Bridges. 3. Good.
Trouble. There's trouble now, baby. This is Villanova. Execution, efficient. Really great ball movement. Spotting up. Up 11. Up 11.
12-2 run has them up by double digits now, 11. And you talk about that ball movement. If the first break isn't there, they'll keep moving until they find an open man.
There's the ball movement. Find a wide open guy. They got guys that can shoot it. Now, they haven't shot well today, but that's NBN. Nothing but nylon, baby. Hey, I got a story for you. I heard this last night. Now, I don't know how valid it is, but we're going to share it anyway. And take a look right here. Tennessee with the surprise. Good athletes. Rick Barnes came over to us. Says, I like my team. He's got a deep team. Very athletic. But
we haven't checked the veracity of this story. We don't even know if it's true, but we're going with it.
No, well, let me just say this. Jay Wright was a success at Hofstra. He was a former assistant coach at Villanova. So Hofstra, he's doing well, and he gets a call. I was told Rutgers University. Rutgers University was very close to having him on a dotted line.
Really?
And when they found out, from what I was told, Villanova found out, and they ended to let go. Steve Lapis was really solid at Villanova. They let Steve go so they can bring him and bring him there because Rutgers was that close, man, to having him on a dotted line. What could have been, would have been, and should have been is unreal if you think about being at Rutgers. Now, we need verification, so let's call him Bob Mulcahy.
You were with Jay Wright last night. I saw pictures.
Yeah, I know.
You didn't just ask him.
I had a lot of pictures.
So the Chicago Cubs had a manager, and they were doing well, and Joe Madden was available. So they said, well, we're going to replace our guy Renneria, and we're going to bring Madden. Same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
You missed Joe Madden down in Tampa. I know you got a great manager down there now, but you missed Joe Madden in Tampa.
Absolutely. How could you not miss him? He's a master communicator. Joe does a great job during Thanksgiving, helping a lot of needy people out on Thanksgiving.
All right, the lead is 11. We're at the 10-minute mark here, midway through the second half. Battle for Atlantis.
Kids of Western Kentucky have battled. They really have. Short-handed, don't have the talent level Villanova has, but they're really well prepared.
2 big bodies there banging. Johnston and Spellman. DiVincenzo.
Oh, what a great shot.
What a move.
Oh, what a move, baby. Oh, nice move. Great use of the left hand.
They have so much depth, but aren't they better when Dante DiVincenzo's on the floor?
Well, he's a starter. He really is. He's coming up the bench. He'll be my sixth man of the year, I think, in college basketball if he continues to come off the bench like that. Nice pass. Good. Oh, you got to make that.
Twice at the rim, they can't get it to go. Johnson wants another try at
He's
it.
a tough kid, man. He's a tough kid.
He gets it to go. Good battle.
He's a tough kid. Way to work on the glass, Mr. Johnson. Physical. Tried to play football again. Was an outstanding high school football player. Only a few months, and he decided to come back to basketball.
Well, that ends a scoring drought that had extended to 4 minutes.
Spread that floor really well. Make it very difficult to give help.
Spellman went down hard in a heat, but the ball goes to Western Kentucky. Spellman's an interesting story, too. I mentioned the academic redshirt, but he's as much into reading and writing and poetry as he is anything else.
Wow.
Good steal. Who else? DiVincenzo tried the bounce pass, and it went off the hand of Brunson.
Well, he made the right look. Just didn't get it through, but good look. He's one of Jay Wright's favorites. He really loves that kid. He raved about him yesterday. People are in for a treat tonight. Make sure they watch DeAndre Ayton play.
Oh, my goodness.
He's worth watching, people, for Arizona. And they got more than him. They got a first-team All-American I picked, and Mr. Trier as well.
30 points a game so far this season.
Playing North Carolina State, who will battle and battle and battle.
But Ayton's coming back home. That's going to be interesting. He's got about 500 of his closest friends coming tonight.
Who got the tickets? Freebies? Oh.
Spellman spends as much time on the ground hustling for balls as he does above the rim.
Always under control, Brunson. What I like about him, no real trying to shake and bake and be flashy. Just under control, understanding how to play.
Booth, he tries a three and he buries it. Let's add Booth to the Killer Bees then.
They get that Booth going, man, with the three. He's coming back from knee surgery, missed all of last year. He was brilliant in the game against North Carolina, and a dramatic finish when Jenkins hit the shot.
Homer was a hell of a scorer in high school. He knocks down a long three. For 2,800 points in his career in high school in Kentucky.
That's his strength, to be able to shoot the perimeter shot. You know, everybody talks about Jenkins with that shot. It was certainly obviously one of the greatest. But Archie Diacomo did a phenomenal job utilizing the clock perfectly, managing it.
Bridges hard to the hole.
Big
unstoppable.
Big time star. He's got big time stardom all over him. They miss Hart, you know, a Hart rather. Hart's now with the Lakers.
Josh Hart, Chris Jenkins, Darrell Reynolds, all gone from last year's Villanova team. They add a little more size with Cosby, Roundtree, and Spellman. And there you see some of it at the rim. Bridges, Mikal Bridges, 16 points and doing it on the defensive end as well. Brunson has the extra pass. Bridges can't get it to go.
I'll make this very, very clear. This has not been a brilliant performance by Villanova. They're just doing a workmanlike job of getting it
But
done.
you're seeing flashes, are you not?
Huh?
You're seeing flashes.
Oh, absolutely. Second half, you saw definitely flashes.
Long three, why not?
So
Jake Omar buries another one.
So let's play a little horse, man. Get me to rock, Coach. Coach Stansbury, get me to rock. I'll make some threes.
Foul on the arm. Bridges with some tricky dribbling, and he went up for the shot, and it was denied thanks to a foul. No denying DiVincenzo.
Watch this, Carl. Oh, a little shake, a little shake. Use the left hand. Strong. Goes in really strong. Watch this guy battling Mr. Johnson. Little turnaround jumper in the lane.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers, classic American muscle, mow with an attitude, and Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas at heart.
For all the times you spent here, have you done the rope bridge?
Yeah, we've done the rope bridge. We've done it all. We've been here. Like, man, kids are like swimming with the sharks above them. The sharks. I used to love that.
Villanova players had a little dance going across the rope bridge.
Hey, want to send our thank you to also Lee Miller. Does a great job putting this together. Really terrific job, Lee. Big Bad Mowers also. Met the CEO, and his family, and his kids, Connor and them, are just really excited to be able to be a sponsor of this.
Lee was funny yesterday. She did say that we have Arizona here, and we have Ayton here, and it really feels like this was orchestrated to get the Muhammad kid, the star, back here. But we had Arizona coming a couple of years ago, before Ayton even committed. So it was one of those fortuitous decisions. She created such a great field anyway, but that one kind of fell into their laps.
You know, people want to come and play this tournament.
No doubt.
Competition. You know, you come to a tournament like this, you don't want to leave 0-3. That's the nightmare of a coach. You don't want to go to a tournament and come back 0-3.
Bridges makes 1 of 2. That one miss was the first Villanova free throw miss today. They get an 11-point lead with 5.5 to go.
There's a good start with that trap. Up on top. Use Bridges up on top. Now they rotated the man.
I want to see Omer get the ball and shoot it again. That just looks like such a polished release for a kid that was such a star. Look at how quick they get the ball out. DiVincenzo got fouled, and he makes the basket.
He's strong to the basket with either hand. Right hand, left hand. Very strong. This is the Villanova team that we anticipated when we came here and set a court.
They go from defense to offense as quick as any team. Watch the quick pass there from Pascal to set it up.
There's the strength. You know, they lost 4 games last year. Only 4, 32-4. The last 3 years, Jay's won over 30 games. They lost twice last year to Butler. Chris Holtman now down at Ohio State with the Buckeyes.
10 points for DiVincenzo. He's been a spark plug for them. 8 steals in the game for Villanova.
They had a little disappointment because they got beaten in the second round by Wisconsin last year.
They set up a trap.
What
Another quick pass.
What a great love. This is the Villanova team they love on the main line. This is the team Jay Wright's got to be happy what he's seeing right now.
Like the game of hot potato, though. Nobody holds on to that ball for more than a second when they get a chance to break.
They're going to meet some real athletes when they face that Tennessee team tomorrow at 12 noon. You and I will be sitting here at 12 noon. 12:30. 12:30, please just reminds me about 12 noon, 12:30.
Well, you get here at noon. We always worry what time when you're going to roll in. Like, you get here at noon for that 12:30.
I'll be here early. I'll be sitting here at 12 noon.
Pascal, short, and it's going to come right back to him.
He's 0 for 5. He's got to get on the board, man. He's a real good player at Fordham, transferred. Gives him size, toughness.
Dick, they won that battle for Atlantis in 13. They have not lost another November tournament. The Legends in 14, the NIT in 15, and the Charleston Classic in 16. This would be another one, and it's not going to be an easy one. There are still some roadblocks ahead of them, but they look like they're on the way to starting with a victory. Back, everyone. That's not Vital. It's just somebody who's out there snorkeling. You can search Atlantis while you're out there snorkeling. Bump into a stingray if you want.
Wow, look at those things. I'm going to relax at the pool, man. Just sit there and chill.
Here's our bracket. Our Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. And tonight, Arizona, just a terrific team with athletes to spare against NC State. An NC State team that's really coming. Northern Iowa and SMU in the night game. All games streamed live on the ESPN app.
Villanova really tightened up defensively here in the second half.
This game was 24-24 in the last minute of the first half. 24 all, last minute first half. Johnson, too many easy layups have been missed today by Western Kentucky.
He's going to score a lot, though. He's going to be very effective on the inside in Conference USA. I mean, remember, this is one of the top teams in America they're facing.
Good pick there by Lamonte Bearden. Now, the other part of these things, you look at Tennessee, they got to win today, but for Western Kentucky, these are all learning experiences, too. This is to find out where we're at, who we are. DiVincenzo rattles another one in. We're going to have that floor dry down the other end.
I know where that guy's at. He's in the winning circle.
Yeah.
He really just knows how to win.
Spellman getting a good break here as he's on the bench along with Pascal. So it's Bridges, Booth, DiVincenzo, Brunson, and Cosby Roundtree. Tough take. Good battle underneath. Colby uses that muscle and that big body to lay it in.
Nice play by Colby. Came from Jayhawk country, Kansas. Well, what about Bill Self winning 13 consecutive Big 12 titles, going for 14, which will establish a record over John Wooden. The last 4 years, Jay Wright's won the Big East.
Yep. Kel Bridges comes up short.
It will not be an easy ride to win that fifth because that conference is strong this year. Zach Brizzello writes a lot about it in the New York Post, how strong it is with Seton Hall. Look at that. Great execution right there. Simple. Make the extra pass, run the court, get good angles.
What prevents Self and Kansas from winning the Big 12 again?
Well, you know, the Big 12 to me this year from top to bottom isn't as strong as it's been in the past. I look at the Big 12 right now. I think they got a great shot. You got to go through Lawrence, and I think they got a great shot to win it again.
I do too. We saw West Virginia take on A&M. That was a disappointing night for West Virginia. They didn't play well at all, but you wonder where the scoring is going to come from for West Virginia relative to last year.
They have a key player sitting out. Do they not be eligible in January? I think they have a key player out West Virginia.
They do. He's supposed to come back, but as key as he may be, and his name escapes me, I'll get the name in a moment, but even him coming back doesn't probably put them in that class with Kansas.
Going to feel a little half-court trap right here, spreading the court. Yeah, people can pass the ball, handle it. Nice pass.
Issa Ahmad is the guy they're going to get
Ahmad,
back.
that's the guy. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. Tremendous player. Played great against Kansas last year. He'll be a big help if he gets back in that lineup. So many names running around early in the year, but that's the name. I knew you'd come through. I knew you'd deliver.
I was just with him, but when you go to Germany and you fly home, you tend to forget some of the things you see in Germany.
Well, I went to the bullpen. See, I went to the bullpen, and I knew you'd be my closer. I knew you'd pull a Mariano Rivera for me.
Good finish there. Speaking of closers, Jake Omer, he gets that to go. Want to wish everybody an early happy Thanksgiving, and if you can, spend part of your morning with First Take at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. All the NFL action coming up that day. They'll preview the 3 games. College football's rivalry weekend, a big weekend, of course, Thanksgiving weekend, and little Turkey Day surprises. First Take streams live on the ESPN app. And you think about turkeys, and then you think about Stephen A., Max, and Molly. That's a double dip. You got First Take. Are you a turkey guy on Thanksgiving?
I'm a turkey guy, yes, sir. I'm a turkey guy all the time. Some call me a turkey. My wife calls me worse, though.
15 points as we're under a minute to go. Thompson buries a 3, and we'll get a timeout.
Thompson's got to look to shoot the ball a little bit more often. I know one thing, Villanova's got some good recruits coming in next year as well. You think about a kid named Cole Swider, and you think about a kid by the name of Brandon Slater. Mike Sheridan, who does a terrific job as the sports information director, has been here for years, does a great job, supplied me that info. Paul Biancardi told me they're quality players, and Paul knows a little bit about recruiting here with ESPNU.
Jay Wright was talking about all the recruits, and with that entire scandal and FBI investigation, every one of the players had to be interviewed. And he said, look, you're at Villanova, and every school is held to a certain standard. Villanova is clearly held to a standard. And the idea, as you mentioned, no violations, there's no even sniff of anything that's gone wrong. The pressure that they recognize they're under to maintain that and play to the expectation level that they've created is a challenge.
I'll tell you one thing that really frustrates me big time is the fact when we got assistant coaches out there selling players, getting money from agents. Unbelievable. Just aggravates me, frustrates me.
Well, our player of the game is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers, and it's Mikal Bridges. 17 points. He was 7 of 15, 8 rebounds, and 5 steals. Mikal Bridges, our player of the game.
Nice players. Let's make it very clear. It's not a lot of people. We got, right now, the FBI report going on for 3 years, and you got 4 basic assistant coaches been indicted and been arrested, taking play. I just don't know how you can look in the mirror and look at yourself as a man doing that.
Where do we go off of the game?
Selling them to get cash? Give me a break. And I think the NCAA also got to step in somehow, some way, and they got to do a better job of getting involved in terms of them handling the summer camps instead of turning it over and letting the AAU and letting these shoe companies involved. The NCAA should spend their money and support and basically handle the summer camps.
10-point game here with 15 to go. Villanova, you saw flashes working into the tournament, and they do feel like a top 5 team, don't they?
Well, they're going to have to play a lot better to beat Tennessee tomorrow. Tennessee's playing with a little chip on their shoulder. Rick Barnes has been a winner all his life, everywhere he's been. Sometimes a divorce is good for both parties, and I think that's what happened in Texas. But I think Tennessee's been the beneficiary of that. Big question at Tennessee, who's going to get that football job?
That is a big question.
I know one of the hot items in America is right in my state, Scott Frost.
Yeah.
He is on fire. There's no Frost there. I mean, his bank account's going to go ding-a-ling-ding.
Your boys, your college football down in Florida haven't been very good this year.
Wow.
None of them.
Struggled. Well, you know,
other than Miami.
Central Florida's been pretty good. And
Florida
South
State,
Florida's
Florida.
been good. South Florida's been good.
But some of the powers that be.
I know you're talking about the big guys.
Another long three. That goes down. 66-58. So they'll look at the ESPN.com website and be like, ooh, Western Kentucky played them tight. And they did. They played them good. Played them tight.
Played them tough. First half, they were right there nose to nose with them. A lot of positives that Coach Stansbury can take from the game with his kids.
Don't forget, much more college basketball coming up. ESPN2, ESPN3 as well. Big address for college basketball. You get a chance to see Arizona later tonight on ESPN3. And we remind everybody, check out that app for Northern Iowa SMU. 3 Eastern time tomorrow. The winners will play of our night game. 12:30, we'll see Tennessee and Villanova. Good start to the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis.
Yeah, it really is. The great surprise with Tennessee, with their athleticism, and then you see Villanova, especially in the second half, demonstrate their effectiveness.
That'll be a good game tomorrow. Dickie V, enjoy the night. We'll see you tomorrow at 12:30. For our entire crew, Carl Ravitch, back to our studio, the College Basketball Live Scoreboard Show.